The year man journeyed to the stars, and the most popular band of all time held their rooftop concert. 1969 was the year of peace and love, a time when art and scientific innovation thrived. One event, however, was far from peaceful. On August 8, 1969, Charles Mills Manson ordered a group of his most loyal followers to murder 5 people in the home of famed director Roman Polanski. While this is the most famous act orchestrated by Manson, the Manson family had an equally violent past. To fully understand the events that happened that night, you should start from the beginning. Charles Mills Maddox was born on November 12, 1934, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Charles grew up in very poor conditions with his mother and stepfather, whose name he would later take. Manson's childhood was so bad his mother reportedly traded him for a pitcher of beer to a woman who wanted children. When he was 12 years old, Manson was sent to Gilbert School for Boys in Terre Haute, Indiana for stealing. For the next 20 years, Manson was in and out of reform schools and prisons for various crimes. On March 21, 1967, Manson was released. He told the prison officials, "Oh no, I can't go outside there. I knew that I couldn't adjust to that world, not after all my life had been spent locked up and where my mind was free." He then moved to San Francisco. After moving to California, Manson met music teacher Gary Hinman, who introduced him to Dennis Wilson, the drummer for the Beach Boys. It is around this time that Manson began to gain followers, and he moved to the remote Spahn Ranch just outside of Chatsworth, California. He would soon meet Terry Melcher, the son of Doris Day and a music producer who liked his music, but refused to work with him. The home Melcher moves out of will soon become the setting for the Manson family's heinous act, when Roman Polanski and his wife Sharon Tate move in. In July of 1969, the first murder by the Manson family took place. Bobby Beausoleil, Mary Brunner, and Susan Atkins visit Gary Hinman at his home in Topanga Canyon. Bobby Beausoleil claims that Manson and his right-hand man, Bruce Davis, stopped by. Manson picked up a sword and hit Hinman in the head, slicing his left cheek and ear. Manson and Davis left in one of Hinman's cars after ordering the others to finish the job. Bobby Beausoleil stabbed Hinman twice in the chest, using his blood to paint a paw print on the wall to blame the crime on the Black Panthers, to try and incite Manson's ultimate goal, an apocalyptic race war. It was on August 8, 1969, that the most famous killings by the Manson family took place. Sharon Tate, Jay Sebring, Wojtek Frykowski, and Abigail Folger got together for dinner at a Mexican restaurant on Beverly Boulevard. What the four didn't know was that this was their last meal. After returning to their home on Cielo Drive, the four friends decided to retire for the rest of the evening. It was while Jay Sebring and Sharon Tate talked in her bedroom that Susan Atkins entered with a buck knife in hand. The friends and Stephen Parent, a friend of the gardener, were bound. Tate and Sebring were tied up alongside the others in the living room. Charles Tex Watson shot Sebring immediately, and chaos began. Tate begged for her life while her friends were being killed in front of her. Watson and Atkins stabbed her to death, but 6 people died that night. Sharon Tate was 8.5 months pregnant. Tate and her unborn son, Paul Rich Polanski, are buried at Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City, California. The next day, Manson, unhappy with the sloppiness of the murders, accompanied 6 of his followers to the home of Leno and Rosemary LaBianca. There they robbed and murdered the couple and drove around looking for more people to kill. It was finally in October that the Manson family was arrested for their grisly acts. All members of the Manson family would appear in court within 2 years. Manson, along with Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, Linda Kasabian, and Leslie Van Houten, began their trials on June 16, 1970. Manson appeared with an X carved into his forehead. Linda Kasabian was granted immunity for her testimony against the others. All were found guilty and sentenced to death, but the death penalty was abolished in California before their sentences are fulfilled and are commuted to life in prison. Susan Atkins died in prison on September 24, 2009. Bobby Beausoleil was denied parole an 18th time on October 14, 2016. Bruce Davis was denied parole for a 5th time by a California governor on June 23, 2017. Patricia Krenwinkel was denied parole a 14th time on June 22, 2017, making her the longest-serving female in a California prison. Leslie Van Houten was granted parole by a 2-person state commission on September 6, 2017. After a 100-day legal review, Governor Jerry Brown will have 30 days to approve or deny her parole. Charles Tex Watson was denied parole for the 17th time on October 27, 2016. Charles Mills Manson, the leader of the Manson family cult, was denied parole for the 12th time on April 11, 2012. His next parole hearing is in 2027, when he will be 92 years old.
They still have no idea what you're about. Tell me in a sentence who you are.